Welcome back to the channel. So, what are we going to talk about today? How about some EV stuff? So, I don't collect much non-Wisconsin stuff, but as you can see, electric vehicle stuff, it is. We're not going to go deep into the non-Wisconsin stuff, but let's talk about the Wisconsin stuff here. So, this plate right here, for the longest time, was the most expensive plate in my collection, believe it or not. And let me tell you the background story about this plate first. So I was, a lot younger, and I was working third shift at American Red Cross, and a fellow collector passed away, and Dean Otzman. So his estate had a sale, an auction. So I worked third shift, drove up to the place with my life savings at the time. I wasn't very well off, and went to his auction. And this was the one plate I really, really wanted. It has a wonderful history, background, and I really wanted to get into the odd Wisconsin stuff. And this is probably the most odd plate you can get in electric vehicle stuff in Wisconsin. There's a newer one we'll talk about later in the video, but this has some well-documented history. So Dean was the founder of Dairyland License Plate Collectors Club, and he mentored me as a young kid. He was very nice and always answered the questions and helped with deals, and a very, very sweet man. So what makes this so special? Well, they didn't really do stuff like this back in the day. So I'm guessing the documentation on file that we've seen points this plate around 1975, which I believe is incorrect. The reason is because this plate went on a 1982 vehicle. So it's a little hard for these to come out before the vehicle existed. Especially these plates were expressly made for this program that I'm going to tell you about. So I'm going to set this down and grab this. So this is, if I can get the glare to go away, a 1982 Electrek Uncar. It's like a wagon version of it. I'm gonna bring this up to the camera. So this is a photo of it with the VTAE 5 on there, a sign for special parking. So in the 80s, the Department of Energy and VTAE, let's see if I can not butcher this, a Vocational Technical Adult Education, which would it be for the younger folks would be Madison College, the old folks would be Madison Area Technical College, had a program where they applied for grant funding to try to test electric vehicles because of the gas issues and seeing what was more efficient. And somehow they got 10 of these. These were from Colorado, from Electrek, and apparently the brand of the car, or make of the car, I'm sorry, is Uncar, which I never knew up until recently. And how I found out more about this was one of my favorite creators on YouTube, Aging Wheels. I got a little thing he did here with his logo and his electric Ford Escape prototype experimental vehicle he's working on. You should check out his channel. I'm gonna hopefully link it and link the video he did on an Electrek Uncar in the description. And then I believe another good creator, if you want to look up these Electreks, is Electrek Garage. He's pretty knowledgeable in it. He has a working one. It looks like it's a one of the sedan models. There were sedans and kind of these wagons. Anyway, so we know that there's 10 of them because we've seen plates 1 through 10. Allegedly, they were made in sets. I haven't seen any sets survive. These plates are very rare to survive because at the end of the program, they were turned into DOT. Another vehicle, so this one is 5, and I'll tell you more where that may have ended up. What I've seen in person was after the program was ended up at Madison West High School. And it looks like they painted it in West colors. And that was number 7. Now, I believe I hunted down number 5, just out of Merrimack, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to contact the person who did end up with this vehicle. I'm not sure if it's still on the road. Way back when he was working on it to get it back on the road. But I'm guessing he's in the 70s now, and who knows. So, what's different about this plate? So you can tell electric vehicle is silkscreened, not embossed. That was unusual for the time. And nice bright red with just a reflective background here. And then VTAC, standing for the Vocational Technical Adult Education, and then the vehicle number, 1 out of 10. But we've seen plate number 10, so we know 10 were issued. In some of the documentation, it says 9, which is incorrect. This is all you need. They really didn't do specialty plates like this. So this was made for the special program. They were issued to the car. The car also had normal plates that were kept in there with the registration and a special letter from DOT saying that they could use these plates. I believe that was the case because there wasn't a statute to issue these, so that's kind of why they did that. I would love to see more of these, or find more into the program, or find more of these Electrek Uncars around here, but I don't think I will, since the program happened in the early 80s. Number 5 happened to be in 1982. I think they only made them for a couple years, and from the documentation I've seen, like 50 to 70 vehicles made. So they're a pretty rare vehicle. Okay, so where do we go from here? Because after these were turned back in, Wisconsin didn't do electric vehicle stuff until take 153. Okay, before I move on to the next plate, check out the Wisconsin Journal, September 22nd, 1982, page 15. Read about Governor Dreyfus and the VTAC program. So these videos aren't going to be able to include everything, especially if I have news articles and a lot of text-based documentation. I do try to summarize stuff as best as I can, but there's added details that aren't going to be in the videos, but will be in the book. And for all we know, things will change about some of these types. Since Bill published his book, we're finding out differences now. So next thing we're going to talk about is these neighborhood electric vehicle plates. These are not well known, and there's not a lot of documentation. So let me read a quick statute. So in 2007, Wisconsin Act 33 gave towns, cities, or villages the right to regulate neighborhood electric vehicle plates. The main issue with doing that is It didn't give access to connecting highways within the municipality or where the municipality's roadways crossed a state trunk highway. So reading all that, it's a lot of times with these low-speed vehicles, with these neighborhood electric vehicles, they're capped to 25 to 35 depending on the manufacturer and the state that they're manufactured or in. So I think that was the issue, and then them not having rights to cross them because, like in Wisconsin, you can only drive 10 miles per hour under the posted speed limit, and these would not be capable of crossing a trunk highway at those speeds. So what do we know about these? We know we've seen a picture of Reedsburg, but we haven't been able to hunt any down, and Basketball. Now these started at EV01, so this is the #1 Basketball plate. Only one known, didn't see any photos or any other documentation on Basketball. There is a Reedsburg one hanging in the Waupun prison as an example, but unfortunately you can't take pictures in the prison, and that's the only one I've seen in the flesh. Something weird about these, they were a 2-year registration, but for some reason they didn't really line up with the normal 2-year biannual cycle. So I don't know if these were just unique or the timing of the state laws or statutes. So they were issued in 2007, expired in 2009. So what happened? I believe at the same time, these were kind of coming into effect because of the 2008 crunch. Neighborhood electric vehicles and low-speed vehicles were getting more popular. These are technically EV only. They do not cover the gas ones. So what happened? 2009 Senate Bill 321 changed, so municipality had the rights to regulate putting the end to these plates, and then that started the low-speed plate type, and I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to tell you the story about this plate from what I know. So there's a fellow collector I was talking about, and he had seen such plate and it described it to me. And he was in a community garage sale event and said he knew the owner who had a Basketball EV01 on his garage wall and a low speed plate. Apparently he had one, this person had one. He was driving around with it with this plate on, got pulled over and said, hey, you can't do that. That's not a real plate. And the officer must have told him that there was a low speed plate available, or he talked to the DMV and got a low speed plate. So this was hanging up in his garage. And I asked the collector, hey, can you take a picture, put a good word in for me, something? And I think the person had passed away because this popped up in a online auction for like an estate sale. So with much worry, I watched over that and made sure I got it so it could be in the museum, since we haven't seen these. So yeah, if you've seen anything like these, please reach out. If there's any other cities, or if you held a Reedsburg one. And this looks like these were issued by the police department. At least in Reedsburg, they were issued by the police department. I have not heard back from Basketball if the police department issued these or what. They did not respond to my letter. Okay, so what's next? It's low speed. Okay, low speed. So, as I said before, maybe I didn't say it before, the Senate Bill 321 created in 2009. So these came about 2009 to expire in 2010, and these were actually put on the biannual cycle for like motorcycles. So you can see there's a green 10 sticker, and we have a yellow 12, and then a 14 on top. So these started at 1001 LS, Wisconsin's famous block numbering system. They all expire in April. So these are for low-speed vehicles. So that would be a vehicle limited either mechanically or electronically to 25 miles per hour or less in Wisconsin. I think these came into the big picture because they were getting more popular with the gas crunch in 08. Universities, power plants, water plants started using these more. They'd have to access the road to get maybe to another location or down the street or to get fuel. So this type can be for electric, gasoline. If it was propane powered, it could be propane. But the most common ones I see are the university and their little 2-cylinder gas engines and electric. So what's the story behind this one? Well, I found it on eBay. Well, I found the car on eBay. So I ended up buying a 2008 miles electric vehicle. It's a neighborhood electric vehicle, so it's a low speed, but I had this plate on there. I had it on eBay. I negotiated kind of difficultly with the guy, and he agreed to drop it off. So I bought it. He drove it to the condo and dropped it off with the plate attached. So I've had that thing for, a number of years now. Yeah, but I bought it because this is the 55th plate of the low speed. I have not been able to recover any lower numbers. I see them at the university. Unfortunately, you can't get plates from the university. So yeah. Now these have gone unchanged until actually late 2024, and I'll grab the other one. So, what happened in late 2024? Wisconsin got EV stickers. So these are hybrid EV stickers for any vehicle that is either powered completely electric or hybrid. So gas and electric or diesel and electric. So they attach to both plates if the vehicle has 2 plates. Low speed is a single plate issued. But if you have a normal sedan, you're going to get 2 stickers front and back. So I kept the little low-speed vehicle, and when I replaced the plate in late 2024, I got one with the EV sticker because, well, it's EV. Who knows what's going to be the future? They did right before this, a whole bunch of tow companies tried to get a bill passed that would require special electric vehicle plates for all electric vehicles in Wisconsin. That failed miserably. Why? EV stickers were already in the pipeline, and it would have been millions of dollars to do the software, do the plates, because each plate type would have had to have its own EV stat character, its own new program in the system, and then to reduce costs, they would actually reduce the specialty types, so you couldn't get, let's say, a Wolf or a Packer plate anymore for EVs, and that wasn't appealing to DOT because that would be a very much loss of revenue for those organizations that get donations. So it bombed. But we did get the EV stickers. They're here to stay. So I would say by 2025, they have all the EV stickers out. At least people have received them. Doesn't mean they put them on. And if you get new plates, most of the time you get your stickers. Sometimes you don't. You have to go in and ask for one, but not a big deal. What's the future for these? Who knows? It depends on, the legislators, people who lobby, and DOT. Anyway, thank you for watching. Got any questions, comments? Please let me know. And thank you.